I want you to think about something for a moment. What if I told you that the biggest problem for your health, your energy, and even your safety after age 60 isn't about what you eat or how much you walk? What if I told you the biggest problem happens quietly every night around 2 or 3 in the morning, right there in your own bedroom? I'm talking about that trip to the bathroom that we all know so well, that moment when you're sleeping soundly and that urge to go wakes you up. For some of us, it happens once a night. For others, it's twice, or even 3 times. There's a fancy doctor's name for it, but let's just call it what it is, a sleep-wrecking problem. Many people tell us we just have to live with it. Well, I'm here to tell you that's not true. You don't have to just put up with it. Because this isn't just a little bother. It's a big deal that causes real problems, things we don't often think about. First, let's talk about your sleep. Think of your sleep like a repair shop with 2 different crews that work on a car. When you fall asleep, the body crew comes in first. Their job is to fix the engine, rotate the tires, and change the oil. They repair your muscles, boost your immune system so you don't get sick, and restore your physical body. This important work is called deep sleep. After they're done, the mind crew comes in. They're the detailers. They clean the inside, polish the chrome, and make sure the electronics are working. They sort through your memories and organize your brain so you can think clearly the next day. Every single time you wake up to pee, it's like a loud fire alarm goes off in that repair shop. Both crews have to drop their tools, jump in the truck, and drive off. Even if you're only awake for 5 or 10 minutes, the garage is closed for the night. The repair work is left half finished. You get cheated out of that important repair time. Night after night, your body's engine and your mind's computer don't get the full service they need. Second, we need to talk seriously about the danger of falling. Imagine it's 2 in the morning. It's pitch black in the house. You're not fully awake, you're sleepy and a little confused about where you are. It's so easy to misjudge a step or trip on a rug you forgot was there. A simple trip to the bathroom can turn into a serious accident. A fall can mean a broken bone, a long stay in the hospital, and losing the ability to take care of yourself. We want to avoid that at all costs. And finally, think about how you pay the price the next day. You wake up already feeling like you've run a race. You don't have the energy you want for your hobbies, like golf or fishing or working in the yard. Playing with your grandchildren feels like a chore instead of a joy. It's hard to focus on the newspaper and your head feels foggy. This isn't just getting older. This is a direct result of that fire alarm going off in your sleep repair shop every night. And let's not forget our wives or partners. Every time we get out of bed, the bed moves and the floor creaks. We're not just waking ourselves up, we're waking them up too. So what's the answer? A lot of people think, I'll just drink less water. But that's a bad idea. Think of water for your body like oil for your car's engine. If you run the engine with no oil, it will seize up. Our bodies need water to work right. Not drinking enough can make you feel dizzy, confused, and can even hurt your kidneys. So that's not the solution. Other people just give up. Their doctor might even say, well, that's just part of getting old. I'm here to tell you that's just an excuse. Saying that is like saying a squeaky door is just part of an old house. No, it just means you need a little oil to fix the squeak. You just need the right tool. Today, I'm going to give you that tool. It's not a pill and it's not an expensive machine. It's a simple, now 4-step plan, a complete checklist. I call it the Nightly Shutdown Plan. It's just 4 easy things to do every evening to get your body ready for a long, peaceful night's sleep. Listen carefully, because we are about to solve this problem for good. Let's get started with the plan. Think of it like a pilot's checklist before takeoff. You do the steps in order, and you don't skip anything. Step number 1 is called the gravity flush. Before I explain how it works, let me tell you about a gentleman I met named George, a retired school teacher from Texas. George's big passion was his garden, but his greatest joy was his grandkids, who lived a 3-hour drive away. George told me his problem wasn't just waking up at night. His problem was that he was terrified of that 3-hour drive. He said he couldn't go more than 45 minutes without desperately needing a rest stop. The thought of being stuck in traffic was a nightmare. This problem was keeping him from seeing his family. He felt trapped and embarrassed. When he came to me, he thought I'd suggest some complicated exercises or a strict diet. Instead, the very first thing I told him to try was this one simple trick in the evenings. He looked at me like I was crazy. He said, "Doc, how is lying on my couch going to help me drive to see my grandkids?" I told him, "George, trust me, let's fix the nighttime problem first, and you'll see how it affects your days." He reluctantly agreed. 2 weeks later, he came back to my office with a huge smile on his face. Not only was he sleeping through the night for the first time in a decade, but he had just driven all the way to see his grandkids and back, and only had to stop once. For George, this simple trick gave him back his freedom. Here's what you do. About an hour and a half before you want to go to sleep, lie down on your bed or couch. Take 2 or 3 pillows and put them under your feet. You want to get your feet up a lot higher than your chest. You'll know they're high enough when you feel a little gentle pulling feeling in your legs, and that's all you do. Just lie there for about 20 or 30 minutes. You can read, watch the news, whatever you like, just relax. Now, a quick but very important word about safety. For most people, this is completely safe. But you should talk to your doctor first if you have a few specific things going on. Please be careful if you have pain or swelling in just one of your legs. Also, talk to your doctor if you have serious heart problems or if you get very out of breath when you lie down flat. Another reason to check first is if you often feel dizzy, have problems with falling, or have very low blood pressure. And lastly, if you have bad nerve damage in your feet or any cuts or sores on your heels or ankles that won't heal. If any of those things sound like you, just check with your doctor to be safe. For everyone else, let's talk about why this simple trick works. It's not magic, it's just how your body works. Imagine your legs are like 2 big kitchen sponges. All day long when you are standing or sitting, gravity is pulling everything down. The water in your body is no different. A little bit of that water slowly gets pushed out of your blood vessels and into the sponge-like tissues of your lower legs. All day they are slowly soaking up this extra water. They get a little puffy and heavy even if you can't see it. So, if you go to bed with your legs full of water like 2 wet sponges, what happens? The second you lie down flat, it's like someone taking those 2 wet sponges and laying them on a countertop. The water is free. It starts to slowly seep out of the sponges and back into your body. That water then goes to your kidneys. The kidneys clean it up and turn it into pee and send it straight to your bladder. Your bladder fills up at night and then, ding, 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 it's the 2 a.m. alarm clock telling you to get up. When you do the gravity flush an hour and a half before bed, you're taking charge. You're using gravity to help you. You are essentially lifting up those 2 sponges and squeezing all the water out of them while you're still awake. After you put your legs down, you will almost definitely feel the need to go to the bathroom one last time before bed. And that's great. That's the whole point. You're emptying the tank on your schedule, not in the middle of the night. Step number 2 is the final system purge. This step happens right before you climb into bed for the night. You've gotten the extra water out of your legs. Now, you need to make sure your bladder, the main tank, is totally, completely, 100% empty. Let me tell you about another gentleman, Arthur. He was a retired accountant, a very meticulous man. Arthur was already doing a good job of not drinking too much before bed. He'd go to the bathroom right before getting into bed and feel completely empty. And yet, like clockwork, he'd wake up at 2:30 a.m. with a full bladder. He told me, "It makes no sense. It's like my bladder is secretly making its own water in the middle of the night." The problem wasn't that his bladder was making water, it was that it wasn't getting fully empty, even when he thought it was. As we men get older, a little gland inside us called the prostate can get bigger. Imagine the little tube that pee comes out of is like a garden hose. A bigger prostate can gently press on that tube, like someone stepping lightly on the hose. It creates a little kink. Even when you think you've gotten all the water out, a little puddle gets trapped behind that kink. It might only be a few spoonfuls, but that's enough to fill up again and wake you up later. When I taught Arthur this next simple trick, he was amazed. He said that after trying it, a little more always came out. That little bit was the difference between waking up and sleeping through. The final system purge is a trick to get that last little bit out. Here's exactly how to do it. Go to the bathroom like you normally would. It's very important to sit down because this helps your muscles relax. Don't rush. Take your time. When you think you're done, don't get up right away. Just stay sitting for about 30 more seconds. Take a few deep breaths. Then stand up for a moment and then sit right back down and try to go again. You'll probably be surprised that a little more comes out. When you stand up and sit back down, you move your bladder and the hose around a little. It's like physically unkinking the garden hose for a second. That lets the trapped puddle of pee escape. It's just like when you're trying to get the last bit of ketchup out of a bottle. You have to turn it over and give it a good shake to move things around and get that last bit. This is the same idea for your bladder. Step number 3 is the kitchen is closed rule. Now we come to a new step that is incredibly important. We've talked about draining the system. Now we have to talk about what you're putting into it. I'm not just talking about drinks, I'm talking about food. Let me tell you about Walter. Walter was following all the rules about his drinks. He did the leg flush, he did the double void, but he was still waking up at 3 a.m. He was so frustrated. When he came to see me, I asked him to walk me through his entire evening. He told me, well, I stopped drinking at 7 p.m. Then around 9 p.m. while I watch my favorite show, I have a small bowl of pretzels. And right there, that was it. The culprit wasn't a drink, it was a salty snack. Here's why this matters so much. There are 2 types of food that are enemies of a peaceful night's sleep: salty food and spicy food. First, salty food. Think of salt as a water magnet. When you eat salty foods like chips, pretzels, salted nuts, or a salty dinner, your body holds onto water to balance out all that salt. So the water that should be passing through your system gets trapped. Then, in the middle of the night, when your body has finally processed the salt, it decides to release all that trapped water. It wrings out the sponge, and all that water goes straight into your bladder, waking you up. Second is spicy food. Think of the inside of your bladder as very sensitive skin. Spicy foods can act as an irritant. They can tickle or poke the inside of your bladder. This irritation can make your bladder feel jumpy and nervous. It might send a signal to your brain that says, hey, I need to be emptied, even when it's not actually full. It's a false alarm that still forces you to get out of bed. So the rule is simple. The kitchen is closed for business at least 3 hours before you go to bed. This means no big meals and especially no salty or spicy snacks. If you absolutely must have something, a plain biscuit or a piece of fruit is a much safer bet, but it's best to just tell yourself that after dinner, the kitchen is closed for the night. Step number 4 is the intake valve shutdown. So we've closed the kitchen to food. Now let's get laser focused on the final rule, which is about what you drink. This is the last piece of the puzzle. You already know the story of Frank, the veteran who loved his evening tea. He reminds us that it's not just about when you drink, but what you drink. First, the big picture game plan for your day. The work to sleep well at night starts in the morning. Try to drink about 3/4 of all your drinks for the day before the middle of the afternoon. Get your hydration in early. It's just like doing chores around the house. You do the noisy vacuuming and the messy jobs during the day. You don't decide to start a big loud project right when everyone else is trying to sleep. Now for the evening rule. We're going to be smart and flexible. To start, set one simple goal. No big drinks for the 2 hours right before you get into bed. A small sip for a pill is okay, but no full glasses. Try that for 1 week. If you're sleeping through the night, fantastic, you've found your magic number. But if you're still waking up the next week, try 2.5 hours. If that's still not quite enough, try 3 hours. The idea is to slowly find the perfect time for your body. And of course, remember the bladder agitators. These are coffee, black tea, alcohol, and all sodas. Coffee is the boss yelling at your kidneys to work faster. Alcohol is the troublemaker that makes them work faster and disables the brakes. And soda is the pesky fly that just irritates your bladder. Staying away from these in the evening is a must. So there you have it. The complete 4-step nightly shutdown plan. It might seem like a lot of information, but when you break it down, it's just 4 simple logical habits. Let's walk through them one last time so they're crystal clear in your mind. Number 1, the gravity flush. This is the first and maybe most surprising step. Remember the story of George, who couldn't drive to see his grandkids? This is the trick that gave him his freedom back. By putting your legs up on pillows for 20-30 minutes, about an hour and a half before bed, you are simply squeezing out the 2 big, wet sponges in your lower legs. You are telling your body to deal with all that extra water that collected during the day now while you're awake, not in the middle of the night. It's a simple, powerful way to use gravity to your advantage. Number 2, the final system purge. This is our insurance policy. This is for men like Arthur, the accountant, who thought his tank was empty when it wasn't. Just before you get into bed, you use that sit, stand, sit again trick to unkink the garden hose, so to speak. This ensures that the last few spoonfuls of trapped urine are gone. It's that last little bit that often causes that 3 a.m. wake-up call. Taking that extra minute to be sure the tank is truly empty is one of the smartest things you can do. Number 3, the kitchen is closed rule. This was the missing piece for Walter and his salty pretzels. What you put in your body late at night matters just as much as what you drink. You must finish your last meal and all snacks at least 3 hours before bed, and you must avoid the 2 enemies of a calm bladder: salty foods that act like a water magnet, and spicy foods that act like a pesky poker, irritating your bladder and sending false alarms. Closing the kitchen for the night is a non-negotiable step to achieving peaceful sleep. And number 4, the intake valve shutdown. This is the final seal on the system. It's what helped Frank realize his evening tea was the real culprit. This is our smart hydration plan. First, you get 3/4 of your daily drinks in before the afternoon. You front load your day. Then, in the evening, you start with a simple 2-hour no-drink window before bed, and you only increase it if you need to. And of course, you avoid the bladder agitators: coffee, tea, alcohol, and soda. You are taking complete control of what goes into your system and when. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That's 4 things to remember. It sounds complicated. I promise you it's not. And to make it as easy as possible, I want to give you a very clear plan for your first week. Don't try to be perfect on day 1. We're going to build this habit slowly and steadily. For your first 2 days, let's say Monday and Tuesday, I want you to focus only on the intake rules. That's step 3 and step 4. Just get used to the idea that the kitchen is closed after dinner and start your 2-hour no-drink window. That's it. Don't worry about anything else. Just practice those 2 things. You might find yourself wandering to the fridge out of habit. That's okay. Just gently remind yourself, that's right. The kitchen is closed. Then, on Wednesday and Thursday, keep doing steps 3 and 4, and now add in step 1, the gravity flush. Find a comfortable spot on the couch an hour and a half before bed and just relax with your feet up. Make it a new part of your evening routine. Think of it as your quiet time to wind down. Finally, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's time to bring it all together. You'll continue with your food and drink rules, you'll do your leg flush, and you will add in the final piece, step 2, the final system purge. You'll make that extra effort to empty your bladder completely right before you turn out the lights. By the end of 1 week, you will have practiced the entire 4-step plan. Now, it's very important that we talk about patience. This is not a magic pill. This is a new skill you are learning. Think about learning a new golf swing. You don't go to the driving range once, hit 1 perfect shot, and then say, "I've mastered golf." Of course not. Some swings are good, some are bad. You have to practice consistently for it to become natural. This is exactly the same. You might have one night where you follow all 4 steps perfectly and you still wake up once. Do not get discouraged. That is not a failure. Your body has been in the old bad rhythm for years, maybe even decades. It needs time to learn this new, better rhythm. The key is to just stick with the plan. If you have a bad night, don't throw in the towel. Just wake up the next day and say, "Okay, let's try the plan again tonight." Consistency is what will win this battle. And finally, I want you to make a commitment to yourself. A promise that you deserve to get back your sleep, your energy, and your safety. I want you to try this, and I truly mean this. I want you to come back to this video in 1 week or 2 weeks and write about your experience in the comments section below. When you write, "I tried this and I slept for 6 hours straight for the first time in years," you are doing more than just sharing your success. You are lighting a little candle in a dark room. There's another man, maybe someone just like George or Arthur or Walter, who is reading those comments right now. He's feeling hopeless. He's thinking nothing will ever work. Your comment might be the one thing that gives him the hope he needs to try it for himself. Your story, your success, can inspire another man to finally take control of his health. Let's create a community right here of men who have decided they deserve to sleep through the night. This whole plan is about so much more than just avoiding a trip to the bathroom. Imagine this. Imagine waking up in the morning because the sun is shining in your window, not because your bladder is screaming at you. Imagine having so much energy during the day that you're the one who tires out your grandkids at the park, not the other way around. Imagine your mind feeling sharp and clear, ready to take on the day, every single day. This is not a fantasy. This is what a full night of restorative sleep gives you. It's the foundation for a healthy, energetic, and fulfilling life. You have the knowledge now. You have the complete plan. Now it's time to put it into action. Many seniors have been already benefited from this video. Click to see what you've been missing.